سبحان فالق الإصباح.
Allahu Akbar!
Ding dong. Hello?
Yes, that's right, infidels. You found us here, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, where you get the most real talk, the best reviews of all your favorite wrestling shows from AEW and WWE, Impact, and more, because we're going to break it all down with the best staff in professional wrestling at HMG. So you don't need to go anywhere else, because there's no 5 stars here. There's only $5 face slaps, infidel.
Allahu Akbar!
So sign up today, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, and join the Hameen Army for the most real talk in professional wrestling. YOLO!
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.
Hello everybody and welcome to the PWC Monday Night Machismo. I'm your host Jimmy T, and my co-host, he's still the TK's next major announcement guy. He's still evil, and yes, he is a doctor and a lawyer. He is Dr. Jeff Lippman. Welcome back to the Machismo. And are you excited for Raw?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm really excited to talk about MLW and talk about NWA Power. And Ring of Honor and all the other fun stuff we're talking about.
God damn it, NWA. Fuck that. Just saying. Oh, maybe I swore too fast. Because YouTube, they tend to strike.
Rudy J made her debut. She was pretty cute.
Rudy J? For what? For what company?
NWA. Her debut was a match against Camille the Brickhouse. And
hey, I love Camille.
Match either.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, NWA has got it going, Jeff.
They sure do. It's amazing. I mean, truly, it's amazing.
Truly amazing. Amazingly crap, more like it, Jeff. But anyway, we're not here to talk.
Still plugging. I have no idea how they exist.
That makes 2 of us. Heck, I don't even know how Impact even still exists. But anyway,
I mean, I have noticed a lot of Smashing Pumpkins songs in commercials and movies all over the place. So yeah, I think he's licensing the shit out of the music for pretty much to feed Tyrus.
Feed Tyrus. You know he's 50 years old.
Yeah, I know he's 50 years old.
Wow.
He just had his birthday like within the last 2 weeks.
What the hell, man? 50 years old and that's your champion? I mean, think about it. Right? I mean, does Corbin even know how to, sell? Like, when I say sell, I'm talking about actually, does he know talent, do you think? Or do you think he's just overrated? A lot of people used to think he was the next sort of TK in many ways, right? But is he really? I don't think so. And personally, I don't think he's that good of a booker, man, to be honest.
No, it's very simple booking. I mean, the closest thing to NWA booking is NXT, but it's so herky jerky with their schedule and the way that they try to put it together. Whoever's doing their continuity, whoever is the editor and decide what segments go on what shows, does a pretty bad job. Or the schedules of the wrestlers making it impossible. But listen, NWA, their budget allows for two things. One, people on the downside of their career, people who are just trying to hang on, or young people, which this is really good opportunity. So they have Angelina Love and Tyrus, and their top babyface right now is probably Bully Ray. I mean,
okay, Bully Ray is still, I think, money in many ways. I think he's great.
How old is Bully Ray?
He's old, but for his age, he looks. I mean, seriously, he looks the best he's ever
looked.
looked.
Being 50, Bully Ray is probably 55.
There's Bully Ray and there's Tyrus. I mean, let's be honest. The bigger draw is Bully Ray. I mean, there's no ifs or buts about it.
Well, one of them's on Fox News all the time. It doesn't matter. Neither
That's
one's
true
a
too.
draw.
That's true too.
I mean, NWA. If you look on YouTube, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that after 3 weeks they, listen. I mean, 5 years ago when they started their first week, they did 500,000. Then they, let's just say after season 1, they sort of plateaued at around 230. Was their YouTube viewership. Now, in 1 week they'll typically have 30,000 watching, and after 3 weeks, maybe like the most recent episode of 3 weeks ago, rather, that's been on YouTube for 3 weeks, 59,000. The one from 2 weeks ago is up to 34,000. This week's 30,000, and their Saturday show, which is USA, within the last two shows have 18,000 and 22,000. So an average of 20,000 people. That's nothing. That's literally.
No, you're right.
That's nothing. So none of it's a bad brand, and MLW and NWA are fighting for the bottom.
They should merge. Fuck it. Why not? Call it MLWA or something.
Well,
Major League Wrestling Association.
Well, MLW is in the process of committing suicide by cop. I mean, when people want to kill themselves, so they go on a crime spree and they wait and they just do something to make sure cops shoot them dead. That's what he's doing. These constant things he's doing with WWE, these amendments. It's all idiotic.
Court Bauer hates WWE so badly. It's so personal to him. For leaving WWE in the first place.
His amended suit. I mean, if he ever gets this past motion to dismiss, if he ever gets this, and I don't want to get into legalities, the necessary parties that he's going to have to bring in some way, shape, or form are going to include Tubi, Fox, Comcast, Universal, Peacock executives, but also he's saying all these other companies haven't made money that they've been hurting. He's going to have to bring in AEW and bring their financials in. He's going to be asking he's going to be asking NWA and Ring of Honor and Impact and New Japan. He's naming them all in the complaints basically as other victims. So that's their game. Like their financials are now necessary in it. He said that the WWE poached Swerve and Harry Smith from them. I mean,
and
like Harry Smith's with them now. It ain't doing anything. But I mean, that's first of all, did he poach them, or did their contracts run out? Did they decide to leave? I mean, it's also ridiculous. But to think that those two guys made a difference in their network, I mean,
for MLW, they are two big names. Let's be real.
Nothing's changed with MLW. It's been the same for 3 or 4 years. That there's only two people. Everything is Hammerstone Fatu. Hammerstone Fatu. Hammerstone Fatu. They have a couple of other side stories. One with the Boumaye Society, which involves Myron Reed, who's already left the company. Calvin Tankman and EJ Nduka is one of the sub stories. EJ Nduka's already left the company, and so the newest story is Cesar Durant with he brought in some other Australian guy who's famous in Mexico, I guess. And,
I know who you're talking about. Masked guy.
No, he's not masked.
No?
Which is funny. And he's
that's
tall.
weird.
But it's John Hennigan and Taya Valkyrie as being the power couple. Beyond that, Microman is their big deal. Everything is the Samoan SWAT team and Microman. It's like Lindsay Dorado is. I mean, it's a shit show. I mean, even Enzo isn't on that often, and when they show him, it's just repeats and rehashes of what there was before.
That's sad, man. That is
It's
so
garbage.
sad. They should just, like I said, Court Bauer has just got a thing for WWE. Always has, always loses. I still think he's butthurt that he had to leave WWE in the first place to start this fucking shit.
He's going to lose his business. He's going to lose his business partners. He is going to end up having to pay millions of dollars in attorney's fees, and they'll just file back.
Good. Yeah, that's it. It's suicide, like you said, by cop. Right. Literally. And in this case, WWE are the cops. So
right, exactly. Meanwhile, I mean, last week on Reels, their show did 50,000 viewers for the new content and 18,000 for the rerun that immediately followed it.
Bravo, Court Bauer and MLW and Saint Laurent.
I still haven't seen what happened yesterday, but I have to imagine that it was more of the same. That it's going to be closer to the 50,000 number than the 97,000 they hit once. And even that's not good. 97,000 isn't good. It's like comparing yourself to Impact now. But Impact isn't doing well. Like people look at Impact 100,000 like that's good. No, when people laughed about Impact, they were doing like 330,000.
Pathetic. Straight up pathetic. That's all I'm going to say. And you know what, man? These companies just need to give it up. If they think truly that wrestling is going to boom as a whole, right? Like when I say as a whole, I'm talking about every company is going to rise. There's only room right now, honestly, in the world for WWE, AEW, and honestly, New Japan Pro Wrestling and the Mexican promotions. That's it.
And even the Mexican promotions, really, only one of them.
And I'll barely say that, Jeff.
Yeah, and listen, people always take this the wrong way. I don't even think it was intentional, but most of it's because of AEW. They have
they fucked shit up, yeah, for sure.
Everybody who wanted an alternative to WWE, but it was sort of hard to find, or they didn't have the star power, or whatever. They all found what they wanted in AEW. Even if you like New Japan, but you didn't feel like the time delays or paying for New Japan work. There it is. It's on cable and YouTube. You have like 10 hours of wrestling provided for you with all of the indie people. Some big stars, people from New Japan, people from other promotions. For a while, you had belts from other companies in there. Why would you need to be watching Impact when their champion was on AEW, two consecutive champions for over a year? You know what? Why would you need to watch New Japan if all the important stuff happens, on AEW as well, or just enough to scratch that itch, or you're getting the same style of match? So, again, I'm not even saying they did it on purpose. They just filled the void of all the anti-WWEers. They filled the void and took the customers, and now the customers feel like they're with the winner instead of having to defend why they watched Impact or MLW or NWA or New Japan, and they no longer have to explain why they're watching this niche fringe thing that's no longer cool, and now they're watching something that's close enough to mainstream.
Yeah, close enough to mainstream, close, but not quite.
For wrestling, it's close enough.
No. Look, WWE, yeah, mainstream. I would consider it WWE. AEW is fringe. They're on mainstream networks, but are they truly mainstream?
It's not. I mean, wrestling isn't mainstream. So, look, AEW is close. Listen, if you use like a Mardi Gras expression, it's not Bourbon Street, it's not Royale Street, but like it's 2 streets down. Like it's still a major Mardi Gras street, but it's not the major Mardi Gras street. But it's like the one where some of the locals know that the bars are still cool, and you can get a good jazz band, and maybe every now and then Aaron Neville will show up at the lounge, and you'll catch him for free or whatever. But for wrestling, AEW is close enough to mainstream, sure.
You think so?
Yeah, sure. It's wrestling. It's all garbage.
God, really? I mean, WWE, I think, have been pretty impressive lately, to be fair, compared to everything else, anyway.
I mean, it's like saying Rick and Morty is better than Beavis and Butthead. Sure.
Well, people will tell you Rick and Morty is better than Beavis and Butthead, and they're two kind of different. You'll love it, dude, because they're pro wrestling fans too. Like that's what makes it funny. I think one of them's a wrestler, as a matter of fact. Douglas is into that show more than I am, but it is funny when I've watched it. But I wouldn't be able to watch it.
That slut Douglas.
Careful, Jeff.
A terrible TV man.
That TV man. That's right. Anyway, let's move on from that.
Unchaste woman.
Jeff, be careful. Like I said, I'm doing something right now. I'm doing something different, Jeff, right, in the comments, but I better stop the music, because if I went to the music and then stopped doing what I was doing, it deletes everything. So that's why it was playing. So luckily I just copied and pasted everything. But anyway, let's get into Raw, Jeff. Is there any other news we need to break before we actually do talk Raw?
Nah, let's just talk Raw.
Yeah, there's nothing serious going on that we know of. Oh, did you check fucking Vince McMahon's new look?
Yeah, he looks like Winston Wolfe from Pulp Fiction.
That mustache, I love it, dude.
I'm here to solve problems. I'm not here because I want to be. I'm here because you fucked up and they called me to fix it. So I can either leave and you can get arrested and get in trouble, or you can shut the fuck up and do every fucking thing I say. Now say, I understand, Mr. Wolf.
That's right. That's right. Well, anyway, let's get to WWE Monday Night Raw.
Right.
We come from good old Boston, Mass. And I'm going to say this, Jeff. I don't know if you noticed it or not, because you seem to think differently most of the times. But Boston was pretty hot, man, for this show.
Yeah. But Boston, a good acquittal of themselves. But much better than the average crowd. Not Montreal, but better than some of the crowds we've seen in Texas and in the Midwest and what have you. Actually, this Raw, I don't think this Raw was great, but I thought it was pretty good. And I thought it flowed okay. It wasn't torture watching it for 3 hours. And while I don't think anything was great, everything it did advanced the story, and it did build everything. A lot of things built towards WrestleMania, and they confirmed like 3 matches for WrestleMania, at least as we understand it now. So, I mean, Raw did what it was supposed to do. Plus, you had your sort of, your bookends, your bloodline, beginning of the story, and ended with a bang, so to speak.
A bang. Funny you bring that up, actually, because me and Chris, when we were doing Smack Talk, Chris was saying, and obviously because he doesn't really watch Raw, so I don't blame him, but he was saying, we've only got 3 weeks till WrestleMania, and they got to build all this, there's not much time to do the whole Bloodline stuff. Okay, yeah, dude, think of it as 6 weeks to go, because they've been also continuing it on Raw every week, and there you go. It's exactly what happened. They continued on. Actually, and it was a big sort of sew up to the storyline. Like, it was very important.
One part of it. There's just another piece missing. That's really it.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, let's be real, man. And we were saying this in previous shows. Who actually thought that Jey Uso was actually going to turn on his own family? Their family. Doesn't matter how he feels. That's his family. You know what I mean?
Every company has marked hearts. The people were talking about they'd rather have Jey Uso as the world champion. Why? What are you talking about? He's
That's
good
ridiculous,
only in the story. It's like saying Tom Sizemore should be the star of any movie. Rest in peace. But no, Tom Sizemore should never be the star of a movie. When he's there with De Niro and Val Kilmer in Heat, or he's with Michael Madsen, or whichever Brigitte Fonda, whatever, and he's the bad guy in every movie with great ensemble cast. Yeah, he's an awesome character. But the lead, no. This is I feel the same about Jey Uso as I feel about Sami Zayn. Not the lead.
Straight up, he's not the lead. And let's be real, is he really a draw?
No.
Exactly. So why is all these marktards think?
I mean, not only is he replaceable, he's actually he's an actual duplicate.
Literally an actual.
There's literally 2 of them.
Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you people? God damn it. Anyway, you know what, Jeff? Before I go to the comments, I was thinking of putting the Raw results on the ticket down there in the future anyway. Do you think that would be pretty good for our listeners and viewers?
I don't know. I mean...
So it looks like a sports center type of thing. I know, but like if anyone doesn't see it,
I think anything that creates more work for you that's not likely to lead to more listeners is useless time.
Oh, fair enough. I'm trying to cater to the viewers, obviously, not so much the listeners.
Who does that? Tony Khan, where he puts the dark elevation results on the scroll, under the other shows.
I kind of like that. It's cool because I don't watch dark or elevations. But anyway,
Diamante defeats Jubilee X.
That's true.
Lance Archer back on YouTube. defeats Jabroni 1 and
Jabroni 2.
Booger the Jr.
Well, we've got a few comments here already in the chat, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
And we start with Chris Whelan. How do you guys foresee WWE splitting up the unified singles and tag team bouts? It's easy, dude. I mean, already we know that, I don't know if both bouts are on the line. I assume they probably will be. Or do you think one of the tag bouts will be on the line? But clearly, Zayn and Owens are going to take one or both of those belts, right? I assume it's got to be one pair of those belts, right?
They're going to take the unified belts, but they're gonna lose a few weeks later to somebody else.
And as far as
they'll only lose one set of titles.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And as far as Roman goes, that's a bit more tricky at the moment because I don't see any sort of storyline that's sort of going that direction. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
they can do an easy cop out. The Monday night after WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes can say,
actually, it's a great idea.
I lived my dream and I accomplished my goal. But as you remember, my goal was the WWE Championship. And to get there, I had to defeat the undisputed Universal Champion for both. But
and
I don't
he gives
want
up.
I don't
He gives up the belt.
Both
One
belts.
Right.
That's not. I don't want to be what everyone says Dusty was to me, that he was an absentee father. I want to be a father, and it's a big commitment being a WWE champion. But being both, that's this is enough for me. This is everything I've wanted. I've achieved my father's dream. I've finished the story. And the story doesn't involve the Universal Championship also.
Well, it's either that will happen, and more than likely, I think what you're saying is more than likely. Actually,
it's easy. It's easy.
It's easy, right? It's logical too. But there's also the other way. Say Cody does lose against Roman Reigns, just say, via fuckery of some sort.
Sure.
Right? Where somehow he might actually get a rematch on the Raw after Mania. Mm-hmm. But Reigns says, you're not good enough to take me on for both belts. But you know what? I'll put the WWE Championship on the line, or the Universal, whatever the fucking belt is going to be for Raw, and he loses it then. Is that possible too, you think?
It's possible.
But is it likely to? Can we likely get a scenario like that?
I mean, I don't think so, because if Reigns retains, I think they're going to have him surpass 1,000 days.
That's why I've got a feeling, man, that's what they want, dude.
Well, I
you might as
blame
well.
Them. I mean, the money's in the chase. I wouldn't mind. But down the line, like maybe, I don't know if it's by Backlash or Saudi Arabia, what the next and it doesn't have to be a major show. It can be a SmackDown or a Raw. But once he passes 1,000 days and, it's like he let his guard down and he feels generous. You know what? I'm going to put one of these titles on. Not both, but I'm feeling skippy. Maybe it's on SmackDown and he doesn't expect Cody to show up. And Cody shows up on SmackDown. And he's like, and he's not ready.
But Adam Pearce sort of says, I'm going to have Cody, have a rematch, against blah, 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 because of what happened at Mania, assuming that it's going to be a schmoz of a finish. Like a good old Dusty finish, obviously.
It could be, but I mean...
It's WrestleMania, though. They don't like doing that.
They usually go the easy route, and they want to protect everyone. And the protection is, this wasn't part of my dream. This is beyond it. My dream is to have a work-life balance, and I can't have that with both belts.
That's why I say your scenario seems the most logical, and more than likely, if they're going to do something like that, that is the more than likely way to go, right?
It's just easy.
And that's why I agree with you that your one is more than likely. I'm playing devil's advocate. If it doesn't happen, could we have this scenario? But really, there's no other scenario other than them two.
It could happen in Saudi, though. I mean, the title, a world title change, in the kingdom.
Would it mean a lot to Cody, though?
Get the bidding interesting again? Right,
but yeah, exactly. But don't you feel that Cody wouldn't want that? Like in Saudi Arabia, he would want it. Like,
I don't think he could care less where it happens.
Really?
Because it's going to be on Peacock. It's going to
right. I wouldn't care where it is if I was in his shoes, but I don't know.
It's the King and Queen of the Ring. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. This is the King and Queen of the Ring, but it would be after 1,000 days. It's the nearest pay-per-view to or PLE after 1,000 days. I think. I don't have all the dates memorized, so we can look that up.
Anyway, Jeff, can we go the lazy route, the real lazy route, where Reigns holds on to the belts till 1,000 days and whatnot, and then he's like, you know what? They force him to actually relinquish one of the belts. They love doing this with other wrestlers.
Right.
Why not even go there? And that's a real if. I'm saying if it doesn't go your way, could they just do the real lazy way and just take the belt off him?
They can do that too. They have Adam Pearce comes out as a jabroni and say, "Hey, our network partners have really enjoyed your work you've been doing," but they've said, "Listen, we can't have the champion working the same schedule and splitting time between our two networks. So, in fairness to them, you need to let go of Buenos Aires, but you're the champion, so you pick. You pick, Tribal Chief." Which champion do you want? And then they do a beat down on him, and before they leave the ring, he throws the WWE title on Adam Pearce's lifeless body.
Right, I can see that. But anyway, look,
no blood, of course, but
actually, I spoke to Adam
coming
Pearce.
out of his mouth.
That'd be funny. Funny enough, I was speaking to Adam Pearce earlier. Well, he had a question and answer thing. And not thinking that he was going to reply to me, he did. So, yeah, thank you, Adam Pearce. He's pretty active on Facebook. Well, he specifically said, do not ask me any inside fucking shit about WWE. And don't ask me anything like related to like family or wrestling, right? So what do these all marktards fucking do?
Right, exactly.
I couldn't believe it. And he's like, I don't like that, or I don't answer that, or read my description, right? So all I asked, and it was pretty plain Jane, all I said was, other than North America, that includes Mexico, Adam, just quietly, and Japan, right? Because I know he would have said Japan or fucking Mexico, say, right? Outside of North America. Mm-hmm. So what does he reply as? Okay, what's your favorite place to wrestling and work? Oh. He says Mexico. And I was going to reply, but I said not North America, for fuck's sake, yeah? Even though I understand, because sometimes I look at Mexico like Central America, even though technically it's part of North America, but yeah, whatever. So Mexico is his favorite place.
That's great. Well, you know what? There's a lot of things about... There's actually no agreement on what continents are and how many continents there are. So despite us thinking that there's 7 continents, there's some people will tell you there's actually 4.
That's true too. Well, it's subjective, but there's facts of facts though too. But anyway, I don't know who this is, Jeff, but Facebook user says, not sure if it's the lighting or the haircut, but you look good. Jeff, not good, but good for you.
That sounds very much like the vet. That sounds like a
No, he's not on Facebook. It can't be the vet.
Well, whoever it is.
I don't know who that is.
Whoever it is, thank you. Appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe it's because when I took a nap, it shaped my hair in a pleasing way.
Chris also says, is Enzo so toxic that he will never reteam with Big Cass or Big Bill? What a waste of potential with both of them. I guess he is toxic.
It's the way around. I think that people don't want to work with him.
And I don't think Big Bill or Big Dick or Big William, whatever you want to call him, I don't think he's too fond of Enzo now, to be honest. Right.
They tried. They were going to try like an invasion angle in Ring of Honor, and apparently it was a shoot that they tried to make into a work, and then Ring of Honor was like sort of like, yeah, all right. And then at the time, like Bully Ray and Delirious had the book, and they're like, you know what? Yeah. No fucking way. This isn't what we're about.
That was a shitstorm, Jeff. That was embarrassing, as a matter of fact.
And nobody was interested.
Homeboy88 says Cody Rhodes looks like a blonde cholo. You know why? Yeah. Because he's half Cuban.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
I mean, I don't know exactly if cholo is country specific, but I mean,
that's Mexican, really. More Mexican.
He is. You know, he's half Latin.
Yeah, he is. I know it's shocking, but it's true. His mum, as a matter of fact, is like a full-on, like proper Latina woman. Apparently, she's badass. And
when you say Cuban, that could be everything. Cuban's got, Cuban's quite a melting pot. It's
right. Well, apparently she's off the boat from Cuba, like literally from Cuba.
And she found the American dream, literally.
I don't know how. Yeah, literally, exactly. You can't miss it, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Not miss him, but you can't miss it.
Yeah, well, yeah. We should have double dated, me and La Sicaria with the dream and his wife back. Back.
La Sicaria, baby.
That's right.
I've got the view, La Sicaria right here. I forgot her name though. Dusty's ex-wife.
Mrs. Rhodes. Mrs. Reynolds.
Well, yes, but what's this? Jinder Mahal says Cody's Scarface. Jeez.
More like Cody Moleface.
Or Cody Tatface. I mean,
that's Tatneck. No, he's got those. He's got the
Oh, yeah,
mole
true.
over his
Tatneck.
eyes. Got the one on the side
Mole
of his
on the
head.
back.
He's got the one
Right.
on the back of his head.
Fucking, can we call him Molly Moljam?
I mean, the guy. I just hope he has a good dermatologist and he's making sure those things aren't cancerous.
Jeez, did you have to go there?
Yes.
Jeff, already fucking negativity on poor old Cody. Anyway, let's get into Raw though. I'll get to that soon. Anyway, we start off Raw from Boston, Mass, and we see footage of Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman arriving at the arena. Heyman has instructions for them one more time. Jimmy heard the Tribal Chief on Friday. He has to solve the Sami Zayn problem, but Sami escaped, which means he's going to be there live in Boston tonight. So Solo is tasked with solving the Kevin Owens problem. And Jimmy, whether Jay comes to his senses or not, he will solve the Sami Zayn problem once and for all. But as they walk away, and I'm talking about Solo and Jimmy, you see little snitch Paul Heyman gets on his phone and dials Roman Reigns as we cut away. Why does it feel like, Jeff, that Paul Heyman is the real wise man as he is, but also like the bigger sort of, he's the real... Yeah, but I feel like he's really the puppet master in all of this.
Either that, or he's the he wants Roman to himself. He wants to be the only trusted one.
He's my tribal chief, of course. I mean, look at the way he gawks at him, right? I mean, shit.
Right. I don't know that Roman thinks about him the same way that Brock used to think about him.
Well, Heyman's legitly, I don't know if he still is, but he was Brock's legit manager. Not just manager. He still is?
I think so, yeah.
I'm sure he'd be pretty good. Because, I mean, shit, they are best friends. But you know what? Heyman is a smart man, man. He legitimately gets close to the right players in the company. But anyway, that was that. Did you have anything to say about that little promo other than what
No,
we just
I
said?
think it was during this section, but Paul had to repeat again for just in case anybody was too slow to have caught it the first 97 times, that if Jay doesn't rejoin the Bloodline, he's not going to blame Solo. He's not going to blame Paul. He's going to blame you, Jimmy.
So fucking... I feel bad for Jimmy, but not really. But at the same time, if that was me, I'd be like, fuck yous all, I'm out of here. But that's just me. Right. Anyway, we go off to the first matchup, though. It is Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. Man, I enjoyed this match. This was pretty hard hitting. I feel like Solo was stiff as shit on Kev. I mean, I don't know, man. I thought these two really beat the shit out of each other. And I love Solo. I think Solo is much better in the ring than people realize, man. He has great work punches. He looks like he's really hard hitting you. You know what I'm saying? I just love his work right now, man. And Kevin Owens, I mean, shit. The dude can do a friggin' swanton bomb with his size. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, I agree. Solo's really good. I'm just not sure that people don't give him credit for being good. I mean, he's being compared to Samoa Joe and Umaga. I mean, those
is Umaga
2.0.
2.0.
Yeah, those are two greats. I mean, he also reminds me a little bit of Ming, but I think as far as where he is on the card, he's already exceeded the best that Haku/Ming ever got. I mean,
and
unless you
fast
count King
too,
of the Ring
dude.
is a real thing.
Right, King Haku.
Yeah, so, back then King of the Ring still might have meant something.
Well, that was a house show back then when Haku won it and all that, and Macho King and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and whatnot. They were all actual house shows. They were never televised until the first pay-per-view.
It was sort of a big deal with the
It was, yeah.
Ring. It's like now it's like it's dopey. But anyway, yeah, no, I thought it was real. I mean, these guys have mixed it up before, and they're very evenly matched. They're both sort of not that tall. They're both sort of thick guys. They both are brawlers, but they both can wrestle.
Aren't they both prize fighters?
Movesets. Like Kevin Owens does that cannonball or the reverse cannonball into the corner. Solo, his isn't quite as elaborate, but it's a similar move. I mean, they both can go to the top rope if they need to. I mean, they're very similar wrestlers. They're very complementary styles. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the road in 4 or 5 years that they're a tag team.
Interesting.
Sort of like Sheamus and Drew. It's like, sort of like, I mean, Kevin's a lot older, but I could see it just because they're just they're just brawlers, just both of them.
Well, isn't Solo Sikoa also, or they call him a pit fighter, right? Isn't that his thing?
Street fighter, the street
Oh,
champion.
street fighter. So we got a prize fighter and a street fighting champ. Isn't it the same shit?
I think that the street, I don't really know. I guess a street fighter maybe just fights to survive, and a prize fighter, I guess, fights for money. I'm
On the
not
street?
really- I don't know. I'm neither of those things.
Well,
So-
yeah, neither am I. But you know what? If they do team them up eventually in 4 or 5 years, you can call them the Street Fighters or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Maybe they'll get a cease and desist from the. So listen, I looked that thing up. You know how Austin Theory, he calls himself the Now sometimes.
Oh, is that bullshit? That's what we forgot to mention.
Well, it's complete bullshit. Because
There you
first of all, I've never heard of this tag team. I mean,
Neither
nobody
have I.
watches more. Nobody I know watches more NWA than I do.
Nobody.
I know there's Twitter accounts, but I'm the only person I know that watches NWA. Even Mish, I think, has given up on NWA, and I still watch it. I have never seen the Now, or at least I don't remember ever seeing the Now. And apparently, they said one of them was quoted saying they had the copyright since 2006. Well, first of all, the main trademark. Anyway, so I looked it up. I put in the Now, and they were like 1,583. So imagine going through pages 1 through 50, and getting to. So somewhere around midway through, somewhere around 750 or so, I found the Now, a wrestling one. It was filed by it was the only one that was in wrestling. It was filed in 2005. It was registered in 2008. So not 2006, but people get confused. The guy's last names were Begley or Bagley, and the other one's name is Chapman. So it was two guys, which seems like a tag team. The timing was right. Well, guess what? It was abandoned in 2015. It's dead. The mark is dead. So they don't have a registered trademark. They actually let it go, which means it's fair game for anyone. Do they have a common law theory? I suppose, but I mean, I don't think that there's any market confusion when Austin Theory is on there going, I am the Now. I mean, that's not his nickname, the Now or whatever. He's like A-Town Down. And yes, it's bullshit. It's stupid. These guys are trying to get a cheap plug for themselves. And one dummy said a copyright and their trademark is abandoned, which is pretty good counter evidence that, well, if you wanted to keep it, you just would have kept it.
That's right. Exactly. And that's why he's a lawyer. He knows his shit. So, and that's what makes you even more sort of handy to have around, because none of us can answer this shit like you can, and there you are. So
and who else would go through pages of 50 for
too
between 700 and 800 just to find out if there was something to this or not? Either way, I win.
Well, that's right. I mean, shit. Like I said, that's your job, dude. I mean, you're a lawyer. You know what I mean. You know what you're talking about, and you can get to the bottom of it a lot better than we can. That's for sure. I mean, it's not even a competition. But you're over here, we're down here. We don't know shit.
It was also fun to go. I think it was 411 Mania, whatever I said.
Oh yes.
I said first the guy said copyright. Secondly, the trademark, and I gave them the registration number, was applied for in 2005, and it was granted in 2008. Registration number 3, blah 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 blah, and it was abandoned in 2015, and it's marked as dead. I go, a journalist would have checked that. Well, did they respond to that? No. But I got a bunch of likes for that one because they're not journalists. It's like people. Someone said that is reported as news. I mean, but journalists. That's why they double source things. And I mean, I don't know. It's
actually, and there's one more thing I forgot to mention. Actually, now that you just reminded me,
sure.
Since you're the one that sent it to our group, as a matter of fact, about FTR. As a matter of fact, how you said told you, and I saw it. I haven't listened to the podcast, but apparently they're not fucking re-signed yet with AEW, and that's interesting because I don't know if I totally believe him though, Jeff. To be honest, because at the end of the day, he's a worker, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way. But like I said, I wouldn't take anything from their being on the show. I mean. They wanted Law's time off, and Tony can say, you know what, I didn't have to give you. I gave you guys 6 weeks. You should be better now, and I want you on the show, and I'm still paying you, so come on the show. I mean, so I don't know, or maybe it's part of negotiations. Maybe this is Tony's idea of negotiate. Again, I'm not saying one thing or the other. I was just saying I wouldn't take that as proof positive that they resigned, and that seems to be the case. And Fightful even declined. They said somebody posted Fightful report that FTR resigned, and
Hey, I know what you're laughing at.
and Fightful reported that that they never reported any such thing. Which I don't know what Fightful's worried about their sterling reputation for, because they haven't had a sterling reputation in months. I mean, even when Raj Giri owned it, they had a pretty good reputation, but that reputation is falling fast.
I can't stand Raj Giri now. Even though I'm friends with him on Facebook, he's fallen down big time, dude.
I like Raj.
You know how I feel deep down. Wink, wink. Just saying. Anyway, I won't go there. Let's get into Raw, though.
Just did.
I know. Let's go back to Raw because, I sort of went away from it.
Right.
I know. But anyway.
Okay, this Raw was fine.
Kevin Owens, though, does win by disqualification, presumably. I assume it was by disqualification. They never really said it, but I guess it was.
Yeah, no, it was.
Obviously.
Because Jimmy ran in and it was disqualification. And then they said that this one wasn't about wins and losses. This one was about taking out the Kevin Owens problem.
Right.
But then Sammy, rescues him in
like a desperate little girl, dude, that wants to get back with her ex. You know what I'm saying? But she won't take no for an answer.
That's right. And Kevin was like,
what a prick!
You've got you a checkmate.
Fuck you, Chris, if you're listening.
Listen, he knows your weakness. So anyway. So Kevin Owens, he would not take Sammy's hand to allow him to pick him up. He rolled out of the ring and walked out, sort of, not looking confused, but Kevin Owens only has a few facial expressions, but basically like,
true.
What? Why are you still bothering me? I told you I don't want anything to do with you.
I know. Fuck off already, man. Jeez, if I was Kevin Owens, I would have been like, seriously, get fucked. I don't want to know you now. Like, there's no chance.
He's like, I'm seeing other people.
He's fucking weird in a way, man. I don't like how Sammy's playing the desperate role in a way. They should just let it be for now. Wait another 2 weeks, even like towards right next.
Well,
I mean, have him.
Right?
No.
But
But
they're doing.
No, I know, but I feel like like I said, right now, I just feel like Sammy looks a little too desperate. That's all.
Well, he is desperate. He thinks he did something heroic, but it took him. But it was only after being evil for 9 months and betraying his best friend in every way possible, and now he needs some help. And it turns out he doesn't have any, or at least not much. And the one guy he thought he could always turn to, because they fought before, and that guy's had enough. He's like, I'm fucking done with you, man. He's like, you've been done with me before, but you never really were.
He's so gay. No offense to anyone. It's just I'm using that as a
anyone.
no. But I'm using it in the sense of like a jokingly way, because it's
meaning
just
like he was happy. He was happy and dancing.
Too happy.
He was joyous.
Too happy.
All right.
Maybe overly joyous.
Let's go.
Let's move on. Anyway, post-match, Jimmy puts Owens on the announce desk and beats him down. And
no. We've already done this. Go on.
All right, fine. Let's move on. Do I want to mention the Carmella interview, Jeff, and the Bobby Lashley promo, or do I just move right along?
Yeah, I think we can do Carmella and a little bit of we'll do.
Of course,
Bobby
Lashley
said the Bray is playing his spooky games, and Bobby doesn't play spooky games. Come face me man to man, and since you won't do it here, you didn't do it on SmackDown, so you said.
And he's sick of the kid games.
Huh?
He also said he's sick of the childish games, like the kiddie games.
Right. He doesn't play spooky games or kiddie games, what he said. But yeah. But that was Lashley's contribution for the night.
That was weak, man.
And then Carmella's cleavage. We saw Carmella's cleavage.
Yes, and the camera was staying there too, I noticed. But anyway, as it should. And yes, Carmella is interviewed backstage. She says Adam Pearce gave this match to get her out of his hair, but she's going to humiliate his champion. Chelsea Green then rolls up and suggests they go over Pearce's head and talk to his manager, whoever that is. And Carmella likes it, but she wants Chelsea in her own corner tonight. And yeah, that's what we get as we go to
Chelsea offered. She's like, "Would you like it if I came in your corner?" She said, "Oh yeah, I would love that."
But does it
These two
feel
are
like
great.
Chelsea's going to turn on Carmella though, in a way? Because it feels like Chelsea.
In a year? No, these two are perfect. They're gonna be
Total
tag team
divas.
champions.
I keep saying it to Pierce on his Facebook, but he doesn't respond. I keep saying Total Divas.
That's
Total,
what
I've been
I'm
spamming.
him. Well,
Oh, you tell him too.
I've been saying it everywhere. I said that I'm all for the tag team champions of Total Divas.
But he keeps ignoring us. Damn it! But yeah, let's
He
keep
wants
doing
to
it
claim
till
it's
these.
his idea.
I'm telling you, if they don't call him Total Divas, and that is you, I'll give the credit to you. I loved it once I heard it. I'm like, damn, that's it. That's money right there. Total Divas. I mean, that's exactly what these two are.
If they all call Total Divas, they could call TDM, Total Divas Money.
Okay, yeah, interesting. No, but they can go Total Divas. Screw that. I think Total Divas is the perfect name for these two, and I hope they do. Because if they do call her that, or call them that, I guarantee you it's because of us spamming Pierce, and he knows it's a good idea, or they've listened and they get freebies off us. But anyway, it is what it is.
Listen, everything that we've told them to do that they've done is on the top tier of the work that they're doing on WWE.
Absolutely. Spot on. Anyway, but you know what? And I was saying to you last week that...
Except for Lacey Evans, but we can't help it that she can't keep her trap shut.
She's an idiot, dude. As much as I like her, man, she's a fucking fool. I'm sorry.
She is. She can't stop. She's typing herself out of a job.
Literally. It's true,
like
man.
She was poised for a championship run, or a top cord run, and she's literally typing herself out, thinking she's giving public service announcements while she's insulting 74% of the world.
God damn it. You know what? She might actually win the Mark Tart of the week for me. But we'll get to that at the end.
Yeah,
anyway.
Not this week. And remember, isn't the Mark Tart of the week supposed to be about a fan?
Actually, well, she's a Mark, dude. She's a Mark. I don't care.
I don't know. We need
Wrestlers
to agree
can
on
be
the
Marks
definition
too.
of what Mark Tart is.
It doesn't matter. If you're
But
a Mark Tart on the
of
line...
the week, it's at least got to be the week that the show airs.
Actually, forget that. It's of the day, because there's always a new Mark Tart every time we do a show. So I'm going to say just for the day. But anyway, I'll get to that. Yeah, towards the end. But anyway, Bianca Belair wins via pinfall via the KOD. And I was saying to you last week, this is exactly what was going to happen, right? Except I got the fucking winner wrong. Because I was saying, don't be surprised if Carmella beats Bianca Belair because of Chelsea and whatnot. And it looked like they were teasing it. And I'm thinking, yes, I'm going to get this right. And nope, I got it wrong. You got it right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got closer to right, but what I thought is she put her in the KOD and that Chelsea Green would pull Carmella off and they'd walk off. No,
I said what was happening on this, except she didn't get the win.
Right, no, but Bianca put the KOD on, got the win, and then Chelsea Green came in and they tried to beat up Bianca. Well,
Chelsea Green looked good.
Bianca. So that was fine. Yeah, Chelsea Green looked good. I mean, her punches looked sort of weak, like that.
I liked her forearm from the back though. That looked pretty stiff,
good,
dude.
But her punches, the women, they shouldn't do the punches to the back. Like, they are uniformly bad at it. And by the way, they're not the Brutus Creed. His smashes, they're terrible. I mean, so it's not just the women, but I noticed especially in the women.
Well, Jeff, it's the men in AEW that don't know how to throw work punches. 80% of them, anyway.
Well, the women in WWE can throw work punches pretty good. Anyway. I mean, listen, I judge the wrestlers individually. But yeah, this was a good segment. This was, sort of exactly what I mean, why Carmella is getting another match with Bianca, I don't know. She's lost to her 5,000 times.
Yeah, I know.
But it was fine because, cleavage and because our team is now a team.
Well, yeah, and let's just hope Total Divas. Come on, Pierce.
Total
Divas. And yes, you did. Okay. But we can mention it again, cleavage.
Yeah.
Or puppies.
Yeah.
Mella is money, and so are those tits. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, post-match, like we said, they attacked, but doesn't matter because Asuka comes in once again as Majima, Goro Majima, should I say. I was saying it the other way around. That's exactly what she looks like, dude. She's Goro Majima from the Yakuza video game. If you don't believe me, check it out and you'll understand what I'm saying.
Well, I'm actually not going to, but I do believe you, and I don't care. But I mean, the outfit was sort of weird, and she was sort of dressed like from the neck down, she looked like a sort of a overly fashioned lesbian. But You know,
I see where you're coming from.
But from the neck up, it was good, and yeah, she blew the mist then, and then it hit Chelsea in the face. Carmella ducked,
and she opened her mouth too. The funny bitch, she's like like a more mist is going there. She's so good at that shit. But yeah, sorry.
And then Bianca and her had a stare down, and it looked like they were both like, you know, respect and you know, we're. I guess that was the international language of, yeah, we are going to tear the roof off at WrestleMania.
Well, I'm sure they will. I'm just kind of getting bored of Bianca Belair. And was Bianca Belair flipping around a lot more than usual in this match? She really was flipping around all over the joint, man.
She's extraordinarily athletic and extraordinarily strong.
Absolutely.
She's terrific. I mean, it's just, you know, her personality is sort of one note, but you know. But she's not boring like Braun Breaker is, even though she's one note. I mean, she has life in her eyes. The crowd likes her. You know,
she's just the same shit, like over and over again. Let's be honest. I mean, but that's not a bad thing, though.
Wrestlers do the same shit over and over again. I mean, people pay to see the same shit. They're trying to see that show. I mean, that's the thing that people who love, say, like Kyle O'Reilly don't get. Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly is probably going to give you a different match every time, but people don't want that. They want to say Adam Cole, baby.
He's got nothing to him, dude. What are you going to say?
They want to see the trademark items. They want to hear the catchphrases. They want to see the move that they paid to see.
Well, it's true, and that's the shit that always fucking works, does it not, Jeff? Going through the history of professional wrestling, that's the thing that works. Right. But these guys just half the time don't want to know about it because apparently their way is better.
Listen, when you read the Fantastic Four comic books, you wanted the thing to say it's clobbering time, and you wanted the Human Torch to say flame on. I mean, this is not unique to wrestling.
And dude, flame on, dude.
It's not like Captain America ever said, "Yeah, I'll leave the shield at home."
Anyway, let's move on because we do have another segment where we see Sami Zayn trying to talk to Kevin Owens into allying against the Bloodline. He admits it's complicated.
You know who that was? The comment was probably from Chris about my hair. That could be a Chris comment too.
I'll look into that actually. I'm not sure, but anyway. Adam Pearce liked my comment again. Funny guy, because he loves olives, and I go, "But do you love Kalamata olives?" And he liked my comment. That's kind of funny.
Are you trying to say olives?
Yes. What'd you think I said, Jeff?
It sounded like you said olives.
Get fucked, Jeff. No, I didn't. Did I say au revoir, monsieur?
That's really cruel. You say get fucked, and you know I can't get fucked. You know I've been single for like 5 weeks.
You can get fucked, technically.
Well, I guess I can, but I haven't.
Any news on La Sicaria actually coming back? I'm even starting to miss her, Jeff. Jeez.
I know. I told her yesterday that everyone misses you and they want to see you on TV and everyone keeps
Did you really?
Uh-huh. It said our numbers are going down because people want to see her.
No, really? Did you say? You're a fucking funny guy, man. Straight up. But yeah, it's true, La Sicaria. Our numbers have gone down. We're suffering because of La Sicaria not making appearances. So La Sicaria, make it home as soon as possible. We're talking about your other home, not your real home, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she should be back any week now. I reckon by next week.
Hopefully this week.
Do you call her up really busting her chops like, come on?
I don't bust her chops about anything.
Oh, that's good. You're a good guy, Jeff. That's very nice of you. Well, anyway.
Why would I bust her chops when I got you?
Well, and also when you're like, you know.
Right.
I'm sure chops get busted a lot during that sort of wrestling match. Anywho, let's go back though, because Owens knows they're too much to fight alone, and he's been doing it for 8 months. But Sammy's forgetting one key point: he doesn't want to do it with him. That sounds bad, but he doesn't want to fuck him. Essentially, okay. Right. Get it through your head, Sammy. Far out. Anyway, he goes on.
You sort of missed the part where Sami Zayn found Kevin Owens, in backstage, sort of in like the warehouse area or the bowels of the arena.
It was right behind the gorilla position. You could see the LED screens from the back on the right hand side.
It's in the dark corner. It's like, you don't have to trust me. You don't have to like me. We don't have to be best friends again, but we have the same goals. you're finding the bloodline and you're losing alone. I'm finding bloodline and I'm losing alone. And Kevin goes, yeah, I know. I've been fighting them alone for 10 months now, losing, and partly because of you. And you know what? I don't want to do it with you. I don't trust you. I don't like you. And you know what? Say, maybe I was wrong. Go back to Roman. Apologize. He'll probably take you back. He'll love you again. Go back to your family and friends. I'm not interested.
You know what I might do, fucking for a laugh, dude? And I'll just put it out there. I want to edit that moment, right? Or all their moments. Say, if I ever do it, I probably won't. And put some sort of song in the background, like "Together, you and always are together," whatever the fuck. Remember that song?
No, you should put on the song by the Shy Lights. Oh girl. Oh girl, I'm in trouble if you leave me now.
That's a great one, actually. That's a good one.
I don't know where to get good love. Who's gonna do my laundry and cook my dinner? Oh girl,
Okay.
I can't take care of myself at all. I don't
Let me
want
ask
to be
you this.
alone, so you should come back. Don't worry that I fuck around.
Who's the one that fucks around, though, Jeff? It's Kevin Owens, clearly.
No, it's Sammy.
It's Sammy?
He joined the whole family. What are you talking about?
He's the slut of the group of the two.
Yeah, he did completely. He was eating poi. He was going to luau. He was
Poi? Is that what you said?
he was eating at a different table.
Oh, he actually is eating at a different table. But
That's right. He was fire breathing. He was doing the whole thing.
fire breathing.
He had already booked his appointment for tribal tattoos. He was getting ready to culturally appropriate.
Oh no! Imagine that, dude. Imagine they went that fucking. Oh my god.
It would be hysterical. I mean, even just to invest in temporary tattoos, that would have been great.
You know, it's funny though. There are a lot of fucking idiots out there that are not like Polynesian. They actually get Polynesian tats and don't even know what the fuck it means.
Well, I know, but I mean, also if you look like Ricochet's tattoos, can you really tell the difference between? I'm sure if you're from that culture, you can. But from my eyes, I really can't tell the difference between the Polynesian tattoos and say like the Aztec or Toltec whatever tattoos that from the Mexican cultures. And
you see, that annoys me, Jeff.
And I don't know. I mean, I know Ricochet wrestled a lot in Mexico, but I mean, I thought he was African American. So
I think he's half Puerto Rican, half African American. As a matter of fact, from Kentucky.
Right. Now, listen, people from Puerto Rico could come from a lot of places, but Puerto Rico ain't Mexico.
Well, that's true. And nothing really, other than speaking Spanish, their cultures are kind of different too, in my opinion, anyway.
I don't know enough about it, but it wouldn't surprise me at all because I think the cultures of most of that, I mean, they're pretty distinct. I mean, there's huge differences between Jamaica and the Bahamas and Haiti and Cuba, Dominican Republic.
I can tell the difference between a Puerto Rican and a Mexican. Like, it's night and day to me. Well, I can anyway. I thought I could feel. I'm sure you can too, Jeff.
I probably used to because I lived in New York, which is,
right.
I mean,
more Puerto Ricans.
It's pretty much Italians, Irish, Jews, and Puerto Ricans. That's all there was.
Hey, what about the Greeks in Astoria, man? Come on.
Nah, there weren't none.
What do you mean, in Astoria?
The Greeks were just a myth. Like it was like the mythology.
Come on.
Nobody knew anything.
I get fucked. Look at you, smile. You know you want to. Hey, there's plenty of them. I'm sure you know heaps of Greeks in your neck of the woods.
I don't know any. I know where Greektown is.
Really? You don't know any in Baltimore? It's full of Greeks in Baltimore.
Listen, I don't go up to people, introduce myself, and meet them and go, "Are you Greek? Are you Azerbaijani? Are you Russian? Are you?" I mean, sometimes people will say where they're from.
Hello, are you Azerbaijani?
Like we met a couple from Lithuania, and they let us know they're from Lithuania. I guess they wanted to make sure we knew that they weren't from Russia. But I didn't care where they're from. I mean, I'll give two rat's asses where anyone's from. Though I had a lifeguard once who I thought he was probably Latin, and he was Uzbeki. He was from Uzbekistan.
Uzbeki?
Yeah.
Ugh, that's weird.
Well,
you should be able to tell that. They got kind of slanty
eyes.
It's
not weird
like
if you're from Central Asia, but it's rare around here. But actually, it's not. There's a couple of Uzbekistani restaurants. So, but yeah, no. I mean, listen. All of the First Nations people basically are, Central Asian, Siberian, and Japanese.
It's fucking true, man. The Native Americans, and when I say that, I'm just talking particular, not from the America, but they are that race of people literally spread from all the way from down to South America, all the way to Russia and Siberia, man.
Well, the other
That's
way
crazy.
around.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? They go from one end to the other. I mean, in Russia and Siberia in particular, they are native, like the same native people from like America and Canada and South America.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
there's like more genetic continuity between like people in the Andes and Siberia than there are, people in the Andes and, whatever, say, I don't know.
They got to be the biggest
Hawaii.
indigenous. Yeah. Well, they got to be the biggest indigenous peoples of the world, easily, by far. The Native American Indians, or whatever you want to call them.
Well, define indigenous. I don't know what indigenous means.
Well, apparently indigenous is, people from that land.
But they're not from that land. They came from somewhere else, and most
I
of them
know.
were,
All of everyone did. Even the
and most of them just
Aboriginals
placed
here.
I think we need a rule is like if you've been someplace for X number of 100 years, you count as indigenous.
Okay. Well, fair call.
I
Anyway.
think we just need one. That's all.
That's true. Chris Willen says, is Triple H backed into a corner with this being his first WrestleMania without Vince at the helm? Are we fans expecting too much? First of all, us fans always expect too much. Let's be honest. And as far as Triple H backed into a corner, no, I don't think so. Do you?
No, winners and leaders don't feel these are corners. They feel these are opportunities, and I mean, he's probably already working on Backlash. Huh? I mean, he just announced the show in Puerto Rico in the Coliseum with Bad Bunny,
which is cool.
hosting it, which is that's going to be amazing. I mean, Bad Bunny. I mean, obviously Peacock's going to carry that. They'll probably blast all the Spanish speaking Peacock network. Well, it's probably the same network, just a different feed.
Picosion or some shit.
Right. WWE Network, where it still exists in the Spanish-speaking parts of the world, they'll blast
true.
that. But Big Bunny is a star everywhere. But I mean,
absolutely.
Before he was in WWE, I never.
You didn't know him. I remember.
Now that doesn't really mean much because I'm completely out of touch. But I know who Cardi B is. I know. I mean, I've heard of her. I might not be able. If you showed me a picture of Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion and Lizzo, I might not know which one is which. I might get them wrong.
I bet you would.
If you show me the Kardashian sisters, I'm probably going to get them wrong, but I know who they are. But I had never even heard the name's Bad Bunny before. But now I see him, everywhere. I'm like, oh, it's the guy from the Corona commercial.
I was a fan of Bad Bunny actually for years before he even made a WWE appearance, and it was because of a Ric Flair song that he did with Ric Flair called Champion.
Oh, see, I knew Ric Flair Drip, but I was pretty sure that wasn't Bad Bunny.
That was the second song. But the Bad Bunny released that before that song. As a matter of fact, there's 4 fucking Ric Flair songs out there by
who did Drip?
That's from Migos.
Yeah, Migos, I've heard of.
Right,
I think I even have one. I think I have a song on iTunes or Apple Tunes by Migos and like Calvin, and there's a woman. It's called Slide. I like the song. It was like a summer song.
That's a good song. Yeah, it's a
fun little song.
Been out for a while now, but
this is not new. This is probably a 4 or 5 year old song, but yeah, it's definitely a summer song. I liked it. Still like it.
Well, Migos are huge, except one of the brothers has passed away.
Up?
No, well, they were kind of feuding. They're all family members, right? 2 of them are brothers, and one was the first cousin. But the cousin, or was it the brother? I can't remember. Actually got murdered recently. Right. And
see, the point is, I'm out of touch, but I'm not that out of touch. So me not hearing of someone as big as Bad Bunny, while it's not completely uncharacteristic, I mean, someone like that, someone that big, usually I'm at least aware they exist.
Right.
I might not pick them out of the lineup, but I am aware they exist. So anyway, that's all. But it's huge. That's huge.
It's huge.
So the point is, no, Chris, I don't think he's backing himself into a corner. And I think the thing is with the benefit of wrestling tribalism is even if it somewhat underperforms, people will still defend it to the hilt and say that it was terrific and great. And listen, WrestleMania is more a celebrity show than a wrestling show these days.
It's more an exhibition of sorts, man. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I agree. It is what it is, man.
And we're going to get some big spots. I mean, you've got the Cody Roman match. You're going to have, I mean, it's almost certain. I don't think anyone's denying that anymore. You're going to get KO and Sami Zayn against the Usos.
That's 100%.
You have both women's titles are in top-notch matches.
Absolutely.
Fuck
yeah,
Legends
you're right.
and Christian Lee are there. I'm not still sold on this 6-person match. But
how awkward was that segment? Just quietly, Jeff.
Yeah,
But we'll get to that.
Terrible, absolutely terrible.
Terrible.
Whatever you say about Brock and Omos, you want to watch it, even if you want to say how terrible it was, but you still want to see what happens. I don't know. Logan Paul always delivers in the ring. Seth Rollins is good in the ring. I don't know. I think it's. If you think it's going to be the best wrestling show of all time, you're probably going to be disappointed. But if you're just looking for a good couple days with some fun, and you can eat pizza and wings and do it, drink whatever you want all weekend and just have fun and not worry about what you're doing for the weekend.
And you've got a night 2 to look forward to as well.
That's what I'm talking about, the whole weekend.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
The Hall of Fame is after SmackDown. I mean, I know we don't have announcements yet, but we'll get them.
That's weird, man. We should have had them by now, Jeff, I feel.
I think they're being smart. I think they're going to start dripping out this news now. As they're building the rest of the card out, they're going to start dripping out the news to keep themselves as the top story. Basically every 2 or 3 days they're gonna drop something new. Right now they confirmed 3 new matches on Raw. So they're probably going to make their first announcement either tomorrow or next week after SmackDown. There'll be more stuff finalized. And I think they'll start announcing things so that they control the news cycle.
Interesting. We'll see. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think by next week we should get a few dribs and jabs when it comes to the Hall of Fame. I think it'll be a small class this year too, Jeff. Possibly.
Well, could be. I really don't know.
Well, anyway, let's go back to Raw because guess what we got next, Jeff? It's The Miz in the ring, and he gets on the mic. He knows we're all wondering why he'd step in the ring with Seth Rollins after what he did last week, and moderating this face-to-face is part of his practice for hosting WrestleMania. Hasn't he hosted WrestleMania in the past? I believe he has.
I am not sure. I could not speak to that with any certainty. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know. I think that he did, and I think in fact him and Maurice might have, and I think it might have been just about like 4 years ago. So
even longer possibly, but anyway, I'm not 100% certain. But anyway, that's
she looked good in that flight suit during the Top Gun thing.
That was funny, dude. Actually, but we'll get to that.
Anyway. Funny,
look, they've all been kind of disappointing, but this one so far has been the best one in my opinion.
They're all corny and campy, but I mean, boobage.
Big boobage. Anyway, Logan Paul then makes his entrance, followed shortly thereafter by Seth freaking Rollins. Miz tries to stop the crowd from singing Seth's theme. They're all fucking going over and over and over and over again. But Rollins. Oh yeah, I mean he looked way out there actually tonight or last night.
His shirt was super terrible, but I like his jacket.
Anyway, Rollins stops him, and eventually Logan points out that they have a time limit and to shut the fuck up, essentially, to the fans. I think there's a lot of truth to that. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't do it either, though, Jeff. They don't shut the fuck up. Finally, though, Rollins, the puppet master that he is with the fans, starts addressing his people and points out that he and Paul have never been formally introduced. So he gives Logan his whole rigor, his whole shtick. Paul says he knows who he is and he's the clown he dumped at Royal Rumble and whose head he stomped at Elimination Chamber. He doesn't know what the problem is aside from the fact that he's just better at Seth's job than he is, and if he were Rollins, he wouldn't like him either. Miz then butts in and says Logan makes some good points, but Seth says nobody likes Logan because he's the scum of the earth, a coward, a troll, a fraud, and a human dumpster fire. But Boston didn't come here tonight. Yeah, wow. But Boston didn't come here tonight to hear words. They came here to see Seth get his pound of flesh, and it's time to fight. Miz tries to step in, but Paul says if he wants to fight, he'll fight because that's what he does, but he's not actually going to because he doesn't fight for free. Smart man, actually, that Logan Paul. But on a bigger stage with more money and star power, he consider it. Miz says that being as he's the host of WrestleMania, he can make Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins happen. Seth confirms that they can get it done here and now and throws Miz out of the ring as Logan then attacks. Blackout blocked those struggling in the corner and the A-lister makes a save. Rollins lays Miz out with a super kick and then gets taken out by a right hand from Logan Paul. Paul tells him to let him know about WrestleMania when he wakes up. And I will say this, Rollins sold this sort of hit by Logan Paul like a champ, Jeff.
I agree. It was almost too much for me.
Yeah, he was like it was knocked the fuck out. I mean, I love Seth. The more I see him, the guy. Can we start saying that Seth is legitly top 4 most over in WWE right now?
No,
you did really.
His song is, but I don't think. No, you're never gonna get me to say that. I think the one fouling with this segment though was that I know that Logan Paul made a big deal about his right hand when he was facing Roman Reigns for SummerSlam. Right. But that was a long time ago. It was never. He never mentioned it again. He never said all I need is that one shot. I think he should have reminded us about whatever show it was. He should have reminded us about his right hand because this came out of nowhere. And it's like he knocked out Seth with one punch, and that's like, oh yeah, that's the whole thing.
Technically he was boxing, so I guess that's what it is.
I mean, if you call that boxing.
Oh well, he's not his brother either, so yeah, whatever. Yeah, look, it was done kind of lazy. I didn't mind it, though. I still enjoyed the actual segment. And Seth Rollins really did control those fans, dude. I mean, literally, he had those fans in the palm of his hands. And I think he's over like Rover right now. As a matter of fact, I think he's becoming more over every week, dude. Like, I don't know. I know his song is, like, way over.
Well, he's a face now. He's for whatever reason, he's trying to fight being a face. And, like, they need a face. He
was. I think now he embraced it officially tonight.
Maybe he was trying to not take the shine away from Cody, on Raw. And maybe now he's not. Maybe now he thinks that it's solidified and he's not worried about it. I don't know. I'm not sure that Seth thinks so much about other people. I don't really know.
Oh, come on. You really think he's that selfish?
Yeah.
You just don't like him. You're just judging him by your feelings towards him. I know Seth. Actually, I don't. I'm sure.
Does he also like Oliviers?
I said olives, Jeff, not Oliviers.
Oliviers.
This guy. What? It's like when I say surely, you say don't say Shirley. And there's a clear difference between me saying surely and Shirley.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. You were speaking too quietly.
Just loudly. It should be my new catchphrase. Just loudly. Loudly, Jeff. I'll fucking scream it into the mic.
That you should put in your headline. It should be just loudly, Jimmy T.
No, because Jey Uso did it for The Rock.
I read it.
Literally. Anyway, but in this case, it's for Roman. But still, he still did it for The Rock. But look, man, whatever you think, I degaff. I don't care. That's your opinion. I've got mine. It is what it is. And I said olives, not olive, whatever you said.
And now we're in 13 minutes. Let's go.
We had a lot to talk about, Jeff. Don't tell me to move on after you saying Oliviers. I'm going to say that from now on, just to fuck with you. But anyway, did I mention that we get a recap of last week's VIP Lounge? But it doesn't matter because Omos is coming to the ring to face Dolph Ziggler. But before the match starts, what the fuck is going on with Ali? What the fuck is this?
Hashtag free Ali from my TV. Apparently he's now.
I don't mind this Ali.
Yeah, he's like a sarcastic hype man, ironic hype man, hyping up Dolph Ziggler, and he said, Dolph, I believe in you so much, I got you a match with Omos, and
cool.
I don't know where this is going, but it's a silly little wrestling story. They have been sort of low key doing it for 2.5 months or so now, so it's a low card story, whatever it is, and
but what's the end game?
Well, the end game is Dolph and Ali feuding, then becoming a tag team, or becoming a tag team and then feuding. Whatever it is, it's going to keep the both of them busy for the next 8 months, which is fine. But almost squashes Dolph in like 90 seconds. Huh?
Yeah, squashed, literally squashed. The big man himself. Yeah, there's not much to say other than Ali now is a marktard and Omos is Omos. But anyway,
and Ali was in the crowd with this big sign that said "Go Dolph, go."
We love Dolph as well.
Right.
He had a sign of that.
That was kind of funny. I mean, Ali
It was.
entertained me about 5 times in his entire career.
That's true. I think this is the first time he entertained me ever. Right. Actually, I will say that.
I think the hacker thing could have worked.
Wrong guy. How do you take him seriously? Why the hacker thing? So he's a hacker because he's Pakistani?
Well, you're not supposed to take hackers seriously. They're supposed to sort of be nerds and dorks.
But he was a former Chicago fucking police officer, though, man.
Detroit.
That would have been a tough job. No, Chicago.
No.
I'll put money on that.
They have the worst crime. They have the worst crime in the country. So why would you take him seriously because of that?
And a lot of cops flee from that job in Chicago. Apparently, they got a real problem recruiting cops. I don't blame them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, who would want to be a cop in Chicago?
City cop and managed to survive my first 4 or 5 years. I would definitely take my policing out to some county like a sheriff's department or something
in the suburbs for sure,
and live a better life where I don't have to do much of anything, and people don't care if I rough up the meth heads a little bit.
Get out of the south side of Chicago, peeps. That's what we're telling. That's what we're telling you. Right. So go to the burbs. Go to Illinois. Forget Chicago. Anyway,
The Last of Us is just a metaphor for cities.
It's true. Anyway, did I mention that backstage we got the maximum male models?
You didn't. Now we're talking.
I just did. Now we're talking because they were gawking at Otis again.
So rotund. Don't
freeze. They were complimenting him, Jeff.
Yes, they were saying,
yeah.
Oh, he's
but then
rotund.
Marseille snaps on him, and they talk about
You're freezing on my end, dude. I don't know if I'm freezing on yours. So I'm going to keep talking. So Baron Corbin comes up to them and he thinks that they're talking about him, much like Chad Gable did the week before. And they're like, no, we're not talking about you. We're not interested in you at all, Corbin. And then and Marseille is like, ew, Corbin, no. Completely overacting. But then Maxine Dupree has an inspiration and she's like, wait, and she leans into the camera this way, projecting her boobies into the camera, which was great, which almost got her $1, but no, she didn't beat Mella.
Yeah.
And she goes, I have an idea. If you take care of our problem over there, I'll consider taking you on as a client. He's like, who? He's like, you see the short, ugly one over there? He's like, you mean Gable? Yes, him. He's like, consider it done.
You know what's weird, dude? Are we getting a thing where... I will say this. Marseille made me laugh this time. I know he's overdoing it, right? But you know what? He's really getting into this character now suddenly. And let's be honest. The Saudi Arabian guy, what's his name again?
Mansoor,
that's it. Mansoor, that's it. He's naturally good at playing this role. Like his facials and all that, I think are fucking funny.
What I don't understand is why anybody would want to be recruited by this faction. All they do is lose. So I don't know why anybody would be interested in it at all. And I don't know where Los Lotharios were, who seemed to be interested.
Oh, fuck, I forgot all about them.
Now, if there was an angle where somebody wanted to get recruited by them because they wanted to get with Maxine, that would make sense.
Hey,
that's a story I could buy into, but actually it's like wanting to be part of the Dark Order or the Factory. Oh, by the way, QT Marshall said the Factory is disbanded.
Oh, really? I wonder why. Mr. Rhodes, anyone?
What a tragedy.
I bet you that was Cody.
What will the wrestling community do without the Factory bringing out success after success after success? Wake me up before they go. Because I don't want to keep on going solo.
Go. Yeah. I know. I mean, they haven't produced no one. Who have they really produced?
Big Shotty, Rock Anderson. Red Velvet is probably their most successful graduate.
Yeah, that's it. And she's not even really that successful. Let's be honest.
No. Nick Camarado,
He's got potential, but yeah.
Anthony Gogo, no. QT Marshall himself, no.
Anyone else? Oh, Aaron Swallow. Swallow.
I didn't mean. Before I go, you don't want to keep me on going solo. No, Aaron Solo.
Oh, I heard you say that. I didn't click onto the...
Garbage. Yeah, no, they all bottom card non-card dwellers.
Not even dark or elevation dwellers.
I think Lee Johnson is on dark tonight.
I don't care. Fuck him.
No, yeah, I don't care either.
I don't mind him though. Don't get me wrong. He's got sort of potential, but really he's nothing. But anyway,
it's just another small guy. It's just,
yeah, that's true.
There's literally 100 wrestlers just like him.
I agree. Anyway, as we
Solo.
including Aaron Solo, yeah, it's true. Anyway, are we going to get a thing where Maxine Dupree and Ortiz hook up eventually, like literally?
Ortiz?
Do we get that? I mean, Otis. Sorry.
Otis? I don't know if we can handle that sort of sexiness.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And he'd be like, yeah. You know, he's like, not yeah, but yeah.
Can't wait to see the Garza Otis feud over Maxine. I don't know. I'm still waiting.
Garza's got such charisma, bro. Like, in a way. I can't believe they're just... I know I call them Los Lethargicos, but they've proved me right.
Well, they're just lost. They're lost Lotharios. But I don't know. I'm more worried about it that they might be moving off of Otis versus Bronson Reed. But I think it's just on pause until Maxine recruits Otis. It's coming back. They can't resist two guys that are 5'9" and 330 pounds going boom.
Boom. Like fucking Adam Cole, baby. But anyway, no. Hey, he looked sexy tonight. You know what I mean?
Which one?
And I'm talking about Bronson Reed, and I'm not saying that because I think he's fucking... He was in a suit and shit.
Unbuttoned shirt?
I thought that was Bray Wyatt standing there, dude. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was Bray standing there originally. And then I realized it was fucking Bronson Reed, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's just so weird how he gets into the camera, how short he is compared to like most of the wrestlers. But
he's really wide, though, at least.
Yeah. No, he is. He's absolutely like one of those old-timey saves from cartoons.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
It's like a laundry machine.
He is. I don't know what's going on with the suit deal, but we'll see. Anyway, let's go next because this is bullshit. We got Finn Balor versus fucking Johnny Gargano. And on top of that, Gargano ends up winning via pinfall with a one final beat.
Yeah, but it was sort of because of some screwballiness.
Okay, sorry. Edge makes his way. And the Rated R Superstar had it scouted and came in from the crowd as he shoves Finn. Johnny gets ready and then delivers his one final beat, and it's 1, 2, 3 and done and dusted.
It's fine, but listen, I mean, this you know me. I don't want it to be Finn versus Edge. That should be done. Edge versus Damian.
I said this wasn't over. I was saying this even back then. I mean,
but we're not getting it. Clearly, they had time to fix it. But this is one thing I don't think I think they're committed to it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Damian Priest is going to do. I mean, it's more important for him to be on WrestleMania than frickin' Finn Balor. But this is Triple H. I mean, if Vince was in charge, Damian Priest would be on WrestleMania, not fucking Finn Balor. He'd be like, who's this little who's this little guy?
Who's this?
Isn't this the guy you guys made me give a title to and he broke his shoulder the next day? No, thank you.
Hey, true. You make me sick. That's what
right.
he. Look at you. My cock is bigger than you.
So listen, yeah, I'm not in support of Johnny Gargano winning matches, but this was fine. And listen, Dexter Lumis just standing there as sort of a menacing, backup guy instead of
he's fucking. Get rid of him. Hashtag get Lumis off my TV. Come on,
fine
dude.
He's fine as just a henchman. That's fine.
Lumis. He should join Maximum Male models and start calling him Lumis.
Well, he is very handsome. He's got a very intense stare. Like he's got.
But have that stare still, like a fucking pervert.
Right? No, like Blue Steel, except scary.
Yeah. Right, where he's just looking at Maxine like that. Like even while he's modeling, he's still got the same look. Like he doesn't like.
You mean how I look at Carmella?
All that, yeah. Wink, wink. Anyway, let's move on. Next, though, this is an interesting match, actually. Actually, before I go on, Edge's interviewed backstage, but who cares? He just talks about Finn. Right.
I mean, his cheekbones are the weirdest goddamn things I've ever seen.
Well, he's in his 50s, Jeff.
So am I. I don't know.
I knew you were going to say that.
Goes like this.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, not everyone can look as fucking handsome as you, Jeff.
Very few can.
And, you told me your secrets. Maybe Edge doesn't use stuff like the products.
That's right. He probably doesn't. Edge, if you're listening, I know you are. I'm happy to consult with you.
Yeah, he'll call you.
Stay within your very
Don't
modest budget.
Actually, I won't lie. When you were telling me your secrets, it was a bit expensive.
Listen, if you want your guests that are the same age as you, thinking that you don't know the TV shows they're referencing to happen, you need to invest in your skin. It's your largest organ.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And my
That's
face
true.
is my case.
And look at him. I'm jealous of his face all the time. I keep saying it to him. I mean, look, he's got no wrinkles. The guy is 54 years old, peeps. Jesus
Practically
Christ.
dead. But I look like a baby.
Dead.
Yeah.
I'll give you credit for that. I mean,
It's
shit, I even asked you.
witchcraft.
I'm like, how do you do it?
It's witchcraft.
It could be. It could be. Really, you're 200 years old, aren't you?
24,977 this year.
That's why evil dose.
Mhm.
Anyway, Jeff, let's go to the next match, because this, I felt like shit got real a little bit. I don't know why, but it just felt like it. And I'm talking about Piper Niven versus Nikki Cross. And this match was short, but damn it, these girls were hitting hard, man.
The finisher looked bad. That was a box.
Something was going. There was blood. I saw blood on Nikki Cross's forehead. Then it disappeared, and Piper Niven had a bloody nose, and she looked very angry at the finish.
She did look well. That's because she botched the finish.
Well,
I mean that was not a good. That was whatever her sidewalk slam is supposed to be. That was bad. That was like around the time Toni Storm blew her Storm Zero.
That was bad. On AEW though. Yeah, that was pretty bad. She's improved her Storm Zero nowadays, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I think she went back to the move she was more comfortable
original
with.
way, right?
Anyway, this was. I mean, I don't know why you thought she could. I mean, it was weird. They didn't reference once that they used to be a tag team. I mean, I don't know.
And they're both Scottish women, for crying out loud.
I mean, the two things that they could have referenced on commentary, they didn't. But yeah, but Piper Niven won. Good. Nikki Cross sucks, so that's fine.
Well, because we don't have too much time left, but I have to talk about this because it's one of the main sort of scenarios over here, because we get coming to the ring because John Cena's back. And before that, there was also the book segment, which I kind of liked, but because he was basically staring at Elias, I want to say, just not listening clearly, because he did the opposite. And now poor Elias needs to face Bronson Reed next week on Raw. But it was funny. He was just sitting there like...
Elias keeps saying, tell him that you want to fight him. Tell him that you want to fight. Say, I want to fight you. Like, I want to fight you. And Boogs, because he's a dummy, goes up to Bronson Reed and goes, hey, he wants to fight you.
He's the new Festus, Jeff. I'm telling you.
I know. Well, he's more like Austin Theory was in the way on NXT. I mean, he's sort of like a doofus,
like a blondie. Yeah, I get you.
He's oh my god, yeah, like a blonde. What they used to call? Oh my god, I can't believe
ditzy. A dumb cunt.
He's ditzy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, here we call that a dumb cunt. Straight up.
No, he was booging out. You know, Elias was pretending he took the fight to Bobby Lashley, even though he got destroyed. This was a fun little segment, but yeah, but you're right. The John Cena and Austin Theory thing is probably more important, though. So I can tell you, I didn't think it was that good.
I think that promo was overrated because everyone was crapping on how he buried the company and he buried Austin Theory. I don't think it was as bad as people fucking were making it. I never saw it because I watched it before we're doing this show, and now I was going into it expecting just venom by Cena, right? Because the IWC were all saying, oh, he buried Austin Theory. He buried the company without reading any transcripts. And then I see this damn thing, and I think, oh, come on, it wasn't that fucking bad. But anyway, let's get into it.
Company, I think it was. I mean, if anything, it was just burying Austin Theory. But I mean, I didn't think it was particularly good. I mean, it was fine, but it was getting a lot more hype. This is WWE fans being reflexively reactionary to something just to counter AEW fans being ridiculous about hyping how good Revolution was when it was sort of meh. And and this is the same thing. This was sort of meh, but listen, it got where nearer to get. John Cena's like, I don't want to face you, but since you won't back down, and since you need to be put in your place, I'll put you in your place. That was basically it. And Austin Theory is like, I'm not scared of you, old man.
Yeah, but it also did make Austin Theory look fucking stupid, though. Like, he made him look stupid. Almost like a Sami Zayn begging, for Kevin Owens' forgiveness. And now we had Austin Theory begging to face John Cena, essentially, for the US Championship.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
Cena
Austin
rejecting
Theory is a heel, so he's supposed to look stupid. And John Cena was supposed to bring in 500,000 viewers, which he didn't. There was one good line, because John Cena said to him, he goes, I know who you are. I know about you. I'm your ghost of Christmas futures. I mean, so that was a good line.
That's a great line, because he's saying that's him. He's going to be him in the future. That's what he's getting prepped for.
Right.
And also, he also did mention that he doesn't have the heart. He doesn't have the soul. He doesn't have what it takes to be in this position. Yeah, that too. That was good, actually, too. He grabbed his nuts right at the end.
Yeah, then he does the second.
Too poofy.
Yeah, the DX humor. You really better work on that last part. Like, how does one work on getting their dick bigger? I mean, it didn't even make sense.
There's cock pumps, Jeff. Apparently, they work.
Okay, well, maybe Cena is sponsoring those. Maybe that's the tie-in.
I don't know if it does work, but apparently.
Well, I'm sure you've tried.
I haven't, actually. Yeah. I haven't, but I am curious. I won't lie. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But yeah, we just basically cut it down. But you know what? To send the Boston people sort of happy, to make them happy. I was going to say to send them home happy, but it wasn't the end.
It wasn't. He
calls out fucking Cody Rhodes and essentially passes the torch. That's what it felt like. And boy, does Cody have power right now in WWE. It fucking feels like it, dude.
Well, they had a long embrace, and they were whispering in each other's ears. And
they were touching each other. I mean, Cena was literally like nibbling on Cody's ear at one stage.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait till somebody actually engages a lip reader to actually translate what was said.
He probably said this: "You ain't John Cena, okay? You never will be. So fuck you."
I think John Cena, he probably said all things inspiration. He goes, "You're killing it, man. I have your support. I believe in you. The crowd loves you. You're doing absolutely great. You're the future of this company. So excited to. I remember when you came in. We came up together, and I'm so excited to see where you are. You're finally getting your due, because that was a speech. And one thing we know is that, I mean, the main reason Vince McMahon was there was because John Cena is one of his closest friends in real life. They probably went out to a steakhouse afterwards. And 100%. The one thing you don't do is you don't cut off John Cena.
And you don't bite the hand that feeds you. Because let's be honest, Cody's even a Vince guy right now. I mean, it was Vince that fucking recruited him. It was Vince that flew over to A-Town Down to actually sign fucking Cody Rhodes. That's a fact. So, yeah.
Yeah, didn't know.
No, that's true. Oh, you didn't? Really? Him and Bruce Pritchard both flew over to sign Cody Rhodes. Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, somebody's got to carry Vince's bags.
I love you. That's what he would have said, for sure. Good. Anyway, Facebook user says the answer, as always, is penis. It is. Cena knows what's up with the PWC. Well, get this. You know what the fact is, dude? Whoever this is, Facebook user,
it's probably BRH.
Cena actually follows me on Twitter, so he does know what's up with the PWC. That's a fact. So
you should ask him about the penis enlarger, Jimmy.
I should.
You really should ask him about that.
he would. Hey, I can literally slither into his DMs. It's true.
Without making much of an impact.
I can make an impact, but he's the guy that really makes impacts, if you know what I mean. Anyway, will Cena get to 17-time world champion or not? Or might we see a returning Randy Orton get there, as he is the closest next to Cena? Charlotte will obviously get there, but it won't be the same.
I think Randy will tie 16. I don't think he's going to get to 17.
Out of respect to the nature boy himself, I don't think any one of those guys would want to be the ones to actually, take that away from him. So no, I don't expect Cena to win 17. And why? I mean, there's no reason for him to be world champion. He's part-timer. I just don't see it, man. You know what I mean?
No. The only reason they would do that is if things turned really bad and they felt like they needed him and they basically gave him, more money than the movies were giving him, it's not possible in wrestling.
Not possible. It's not happening. But I forgot to mention, though, the one line that I did like that Theory said was the bald spot.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. And Cena, being Cena, he just ran with it and said, so fucking what? I mean, that's what he's always done, is deflect shit when people are giving him shit. He just...
It's like
that's what he's
people
always
who are
done.
bald don't know they're bald. People who are fat don't know they're fat. Of course they do. Now, people who are ugly don't know they're ugly.
That's true. And what was the second part? Well, come on. There are people that really, know they're ugly, if you know what I mean. But anyway, Charlotte will obviously get there, but it won't be the same. No, because she's not Ric Flair at the end of the day. But damn it, she's possibly and arguably the best female performer ever in WWE history. So it would be a big deal.
Because she's a girl.
It's not. No, that's right. Unfortunately,
right. And boys rule, girls drool. Nothing unfortunate about it.
And swallow.
All right, keep it moving.
You said they always
Don't even revisit what I said and what you said. Just move on.
I'm just going by what you said.
Move along.
Anyway,
forward.
Don't make me laugh. Anyway,
Everything
did I
makes
mention
me
though?
laugh.
After we see the American, that's true.
You're like a comedian's dream.
Hey, come on, I can be funny. Come on, I make everyone sort of start being funny. At least that's my
You
little.
can be funny. I'm not talking about your
can
being funny.
be.
I'm just saying that you laugh at everything.
Come
Like,
on, I'm
you're
the
very
only
easy to
one.
entertain.
I'm the only one, and I'll take this as a compliment for myself. But I am the only one. Don't yawn on me, Jeff. I am the only one. Fuck you. You just complimented me, and now you just tell me I'm boring. Anyway,
It's the balance of life.
oh well, I am a Libra. Scales.
You
But my
just say
point was,
Libra?
yes.
Oh.
Stop doing that. Stop giving
Well, you
shit
said
to my
Libra.
accent. I did. What, the tampons you thinking I'm referring to?
I don't think we have that brand in this country.
You don't have Libra? Whatever. Anyway.
Now you know how to say it properly.
Whatever, Jeff.
Are you now
Anyway,
going to talk to me about zebras?
can I get to the fucking point? Don't you
I
guys
don't know, can you?
I'm trying, but don't you
Try
guys
harder.
call it zebra, not zebra? That's what we call it.
Go ahead.
Just saying. Anyway, I was going to say, fuck, it feels pointless now, but I am the only one that can get you out of your shell, Jeff. Yeah, I
What?
said it. Except for Lasacadia, but I can make you funny. Yeah.
I am funny.
go.
I've always been funny.
You think you are? No, you're funny, but
I
only
mean,
with
I know
me.
that somebody out there doesn't think I'm entertaining.
No, but usually when you're on, there's only certain people. I'm not the only one. Even the bad guy, Jack, can make you laugh. You seem to get
Oh
all.
yeah, absolutely.
You always like, real
If I
happy to
could
see
find
each
my
other.
rhythm with it. Listen, if I could work with Decap and Sanderson over at Unpopular Review, I can make it work with anyone.
And there's one more. But anyway, I won't go there. No. I don't want to say it. I better not. It's easy. Come on, think about it. You do other shows.
Oh.
Anyway. He was too serious, actually. Way too serious. Let's be honest.
He was too stoned.
I'm always stoned, but fuck. Jesus Christ.
You're different kinds of stoners.
Thank you. Anyway, let's
You're
move
a
on.
happy stoner or a sleepy stoner, nothing in between. He's
That's
sort of
true. That's
he's
true.
sort of morose stoner.
Okay, so basically he's got a temper problem and he needs weed just to be chilled.
I don't know if that's the reason. I'm just telling you what the effect is. But
Well, he does
anyway.
come across as rude. Let's be honest. I mean, he's kind of rude. But anyway, fuck him. Fuck Shaheen. I said it.
No, he's not really rude. He's just a little
He's a little narcissistic.
street kid. He's a street guy.
Whatever. That doesn't mean you have to take yourself so serious. But anyway, did I mention we get again Sami Zayn and fucking Kevin Owens, dude?
What?
Well, only Sami Zayn. He says Kevin Owens is right, but things have changed. That's what he said.
Who'd he say it to?
I assume to what's her name? What's the brown-haired chick in the back?
Oh, Kathy Kelly?
That's the one. I'm assuming. I can't remember who he was talking to. He was clearly talking to someone. And anyway, he says Jimmy Uso is trying to put an end to him. He's not going anywhere until he sees the end of Roman Reigns with his own eyes. And he's sorry, but tonight is not going to be Jimmy's night. And blah. That's it. Anyway, Next, it's Baron Corbin and Chad Gable, but Chad Gable ends up winning by submission with a grapevine ankle lock. So I guess it's official, Jeff. Chad Gable's getting that push.
Well, I think they're gonna turn him into a solo act and probably as a face. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. Next, though, we have your women's tag team champions and Lita, Trish, and Bailey, and the man, Becky Lynch. This was awkward, dude. I'm not even going to read this fucking thing. It was terrible. The fans were crickets at this point, considering they were hot all night until this point. And I don't know what the fuck. I mean, Trish was awkward. Everyone was awkward, dude. I only felt like Bailey was the one trying.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, this was awkward. The timing was bad. Nobody felt natural. You know, for people who've known each other a long time, there's not a lot of chemistry between Trish and Lita. I don't know.
No, it's true. And plus, it doesn't. I did say for a joke we're going to get the three of them versus three. Do you remember I said that? And I said that was one of my bold predictions. Well, what do you know? That's what's happening. I would have thought the women's tag belts were going to be on the line. I guess not.
Well, yeah, I've been hearing about the 6-person match for a long time, and the whole time I'm wondering to myself, why do you have women's tag team titles and you respect them so little to be the only titles not defended at WrestleMania? I mean, it's just weird. I mean, I'm still hoping beyond hope that they sort of divide this up and make Bailey fight Trish one-on-one, which would be just fine.
And that match has been years in the making. They've been building to that from years ago.
And whatever, make it a 4-way tag team match where you put in the Shayna and Ronda, who apparently is getting better. I guess she was really injured, and then put together another team. I don't care if it's if it's Liv and who's the Rainbow Girl, Tegan Nox, or
get her away. Yeah, Tegan Nox. Fuck her, man. She's a loser. She's useless.
Shotzi and Raquel again. I don't care. Whatever. Can be a 3-person team match.
Shotzi's a danger to herself, though, Jeff. That's the problem with her.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania. If you're going to be a danger to yourself, you might as well do it on the big stage.
She's going to kill herself one day in the ring, seriously. She can never learn. If
Darby Allin hasn't killed himself yet, and Jeff Hardy hasn't, then Shotzi won't either.
Shotzi's pretty clumsy, though, man. Like, that's always been an issue all the way since the Indies. She was always the same. She would always kill herself on the Indies, and clearly WWE haven't been able to fucking put through her head to stop killing yourself, even in the big leagues.
Well, listen, if Billy Starks hasn't killed herself yet, the Shotzi won't either.
All right, well, anyway, let's move away from that because we're finally at the main event. It is Jimmy Uso versus Sammy Uso in the Battle of the Usos. And it was all about the Usos, let's be honest. Anyway, Sami Zayn does get the win by pinfall via sunset flip, but shit gets interesting because Jimmy and Jay, well, first Jay comes, from the rafters.
You're like botching like the order of things. Jay came down and was standing on the commentary
That's what I was meant
table,
to say.
And that was distracting Jimmy. So Sammy took the advantage. He was also distracted, but he took advantage of it while Jay was sort of frozen, or Jimmy was frozen, started wondering what's going to go. So he did the haluva kick. He beat Jimmy, and then Jay came into the ring, and there was the big, stare down where Jimmy and Jay were standing face to face, and Jay was holding on to Jimmy's shirt. It looked like he was almost like he was falling down and trying to keep himself from falling down, or he was going to rip it off. You couldn't tell. There was anxiety. Jimmy didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to say. Sammy just decided to excuse himself because he thought at first that it was his dog, but he left the ring but he only walked a few steps up the ramp. And then Jay basically, after a long pregnant pause, basically gave Jimmy like a pat and like almost like his body was like, I love you, bro, but I can't do this anymore. Walked out. Then he walked past Sammy. Then he didn't. He stopped at Sammy. Then he grabbed it. Then he embraced him in a giant Judas bear hug and loved it. And Sammy's like so excited, so happy. And then you see Jay standing next to him, but positioning himself. And he's moving a little bit further. He's moving to the side. And you can just tell he's positioning himself. And I guess he finally decides when to pull the trigger. And he super kicked Sammy right then.
Of course he did. Did you think it was going to be anything else? I mean, come on.
because the crowd was crazy when they were cheering so loud, when they're hugging. They're like, "Oh my God, this is great!"
Everyone was like, "Yeah, woo!"
This is like when Liechtenstein and Luxembourg, united. And they brought Sammy into the ring, and Jimmy starts to punch Sammy in the face, but Jay throws him off so he can punch Sammy in the face, and ultimately Cody Rhodes runs in to sort of make the save, but doesn't get physical with him.
Well, I know what song to play for the outro on the download one. Let's get physical. Anyway,
Olivia Neutron Bomb. Yeah, right.
And tell me the other song. What is called? Because I've forgotten. The Love One. I want to make that video. I'm dead serious about
Old
that.
Girl by the Shy Lights.
Oh girl, send it to me after we do the show, like the name of it, so I don't forget. But anyway,
put it in the private chat right now.
Or you can do that. But anyway, yeah. Do you feel? And before we go, because I'm trying to breeze through it, that's why I'm botching. But because it's Dynamite, obviously.
It's been an hour and 45 minutes.
I know, but I was trying to end it by 8 p.m. your time.
So end it. Let's go. Let's be done.
I am, but I wanted to say this as we're going. Do you feel this was overdone? Like all this to get this ending?
This was near perfect.
Oh no, it's still great, and come on, we all knew this was what was going to happen, but I think Jay was over dramatic. Now looking back on it, I'm talking about like all the previous weeks.
I don't think so.
As long as he's still... I want him to be cold towards Roman still, though, in a sense.
Nah. Anyway.
I don't think so.
No, it was perfect.
Okay, interesting. We'll see what happens Friday night anyway. But, yeah.
It was perfect. I have no notes. And we have to finish up the Ring of Honor show, too. So.
Oh, shit. We do, too. Fuck.
Yeah, so right. Let's take it home.
All right. Anyway, Jeff, tell them where they can find you, man.
Icarus Fell on Twitter. You can find me on the PWC, among other places, including the Wrestling Soup Network, the PW Hustle sometimes. Some of my shows are on Hameen Media Group. My non-wrestling shows are Garden of Doom and Garden Views. Just dropped a great show today on Garden Views about a guy named Tony Viola, who was prosecuted in the wake of the mortgage foreclosure.
Yeah.
He did.
Why does that sound familiar? I know that name.
Well, he did 10 years in prison. He was tried twice for the same offense. He was acquitted in state court. He was convicted in federal court, and it was turned out that the prosecutors purposefully withheld evidence. They lied. They used tactics. There was a prosecutor sleeping with someone in the defense. It's a crazy story. You will not believe it. You need to listen to the show, listen, I am not a deep state conspiracist. I am not someone who thinks that law enforcement routinely does terrible things, especially at the highest levels. But if you're someone who does, you need to listen to the show because it's a true story and he's got the receipts. And Garden of Doom is sort of along the same line, but more sort of out there, cryptids, UFOs, things like that. This past week, I dropped a show with a paranormal investigator, and I also copyrighted a new theory that most of the things that we see that go bump in the night are actually ghosts, but just ghosts of other creatures. Some that are extinct and other former versions are humans, not elves, trolls, and ogres, but more like Australopithecus heidelbergus and Homo floriensis and things like that. Because why are all the ghosts only Homo sapiens? They're not.
Fair call, that's true, but that's what they all say, you know what I mean? Just, I guess they're being layman about it, if you know what I mean.
You think they didn't die in trauma too, or they didn't die, losing a baby or in some tied to a place? Sure they did. So I'm telling you, the answer to everything is not penis this time, it's ghosts. It could be ghost penises, though.
Yuck.
So,
that's weird. Imagine that, singing a ghost of an erection.
And this week I'm going to drop a show with Mamzelle Camille from our friends of Voodoo Authentica in New Orleans, and it's going to be on Terrell.
Oh, cool. Shout outs to, what was it? Voodoo what?
Voodoo Authentica, yeah. Okay, I have
Voodoo Authentica.
With people from Voodoo Authentica now.
Ah, cool. Well done. All right. Well, if you want to follow me, you can at DJ Mass Effects. And if you want to follow the PWC Network on Twitter, you can also at the PWC Network. Please like and subscribe right here at the pwcnetwork.podbean.com, where you can find all our shows, including the Revolution review. And also like and subscribe to our channel.
I forgot to mention that. Damn it, I'm an idiot.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, I'll mention it for you. And guess what I forgot to mention? Jeff, did you want your own Podbean show?
My God, of course I would, but how could I possibly do such a thing? How can I afford it?
Well, guess what, little Jeff? You can. if you go to podbean.com/PWC Network, you can get a free month on us.
So
That's
even
right.
from a woman's shoe salesman like Al Bundy?
Even if you're a women's shoe salesman like Al Bundy,
This
You
is great
can.
news, Jimmy.
heck, Jeff, you can make a podcast about selling women's
Women's
shoes.
shoes! Unsuccessfully!
It's a winning thing, man. It goes hand in hand. So
It's
if
tin, Jerry, tin!
So, if you want to do a show about women's shoes or professional wrestling, you can on us at podbean.com/affiliate code PWC Network. I know, but you know,
We don't need any competition. Do a show on, I
women's
don't know,
shoes.
labor issues. There you go. Everyone wants to
There
hear
we
about
go.
labor issues.
Yeah, pal. But I think women's shoe salesman is the
Or
way to go.
rabbits.
Or rabbits.
And
yeah.
guinea pigs. Are they rats or are they rabbits?
That's a good debate. Actually,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'll listen to that. But anyway, so in saying that, also like and subscribe at hummingmediagroup.podbean.com to where you get all our affiliate shows, including Jeff's, and that's about it. So in saying that, I did it for The Rock, I did it for the PWC, and I'm Jimmy T, and that's Evil Dose, and you've been listening and watching the PWC Monday Night Machismo right here on the PWC Network, and we're out of here. See yous.
Stay evil, my friends.
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.